Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. When I get home to the United States after this trip, I'm gonna think long and hard about the potential of getting rid of my car permanently. A lot of uncertainty surrounds owning a car, in my opinion. Many years ago, I was working at a technology company, and I had a very heavy-handed boss, and I was really running late. I wanted to go see my girlfriend in Rochester, New York. I was living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Uh, on Sunday night, it had stormed heavily, and I, my boss was very heavy-handed, and I tried to move heaven and earth coming home. I got into a car accident, ran off the road, and the car was totaled. Thankfully, I wasn't hurt too badly, but it was just a huge hassle to take care of. When I got back to work on Monday, I was there, but my mind wasn't there, and I had a very heavy-handed boss. Nowadays, I have a better working situation. I probably just call in and say, hey, the weather turned a little bit worse than I had thought on my way home. Right. I think the place I work now would definitely understand that. Um, but I get into a lot of drama because I often don't have good working conditions. I was working a tutoring gig, and I had a new client call, and I was living in Seattle, Washington. Weather can turn on a dime over there, right? Our weather forecasts are probably wrong more than right, and the dad had called and said his son is studying for his upcoming tests and all that. We were going to meet at a library at 6 o'clock, and by 4:30 it started to rain heavily. And if that wasn't bad enough, on my way there, the windshield wiper broke. And I had just started my tutoring career at the time. I really didn't want to risk jeopardizing this client, and I make it there. And to add insult to injury, when I was there, I had no idea where they were. I called them, we're at the information desk, where are you? I look around, where are you? A lot of, if you live in a town long enough, you know that there are certain places in town that are not good for meeting somebody that you don't know just yet, whether it be a new client or dating or doing any sort of business. For some reason, some places become these social black holes that your eyes could wander all over the place. Long story short, they had given the wrong address. They told me to meet at Linwood Library, but there were two libraries in Linwood. And when I Googled Linwood Library, pulled up the big one, they knew of a smaller one. So now I scramble to go out there to meet them at the Linwood Library. Get there at 6:30. Now the problem is that the library closes at 8 o'clock. We're going to have a 2 hour session, so I'm trying to make up for lost time. And I get the student what he needs, and add insult to injury, the dad only wants to pay me. We had agreed to $65, but he pulled out 50. How about 50? We started late. I'm like, for your fault, and I also risked my life to come here. But I still didn't want to argue with them because I thought I need a new client. Well, I was sorely mistaken. I never saw them again. And it doesn't help that the pandemic happened a few months after that. But whatever the situation is, it would have been less upsetting if the car wasn't involved. Let's just put it that way. Uh, and so, not to mention, there's always a lot of surprises. I always get a flat tire on my car on days when the tire shop is closed. Usually on Sundays. One time I got a flat tire on the 4th of July. And so, to give you an idea of how upsetting this is, if I have a really critical event, like a first date or a job interview or any other critical event, or going to the airport before a trip, I have a tendency to go there 3 hours before the event, just in case they get a flat tire on the way, just in case something were to happen, an accident. And owning a car adds so much complexity and uncertainty to the day. Not to mention, my car insurance rates have gone up every renewal since the pandemic. No accidents, nothing crazy. And I get nervous. I need to, funny thing is, I really should change the day my insurance bill is due. What had happened was that I got into a car accident in August of 2016, and obviously my insurance went up that time for my doing. I understand that. But I learned that 3 years after the accident, when it falls off, I could switch over to Geico because I had already quoted with Geico before that, and I would get a really good rate. So on the 3 year anniversary of the accident, I actually called Geico to switch, and that was good. But now every year, on the anniversary of the accident, I get reminded that it's the anniversary of the accident because of the bill. Now, my bill comes every 6 months. And so in February, I also get another bill just around Valentine's Day. And I get reminded about how disadvantaged I am for being single because if I were married, my car insurance rates might be lower. It's just really, I keep meaning to change the due date of the insurance, but I never do it because I don't want to be paying something at the moment that I'm thinking about this, right? Usually money's tight, and so I'll worry about it in August.